It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Falcons and the Hawks, and it comes your way next.
Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Garden here alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Seahawks in this matchup, they've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I'm coming. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Here we go.
Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They run the counter. It's Carson, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. He was able to topple the 200-yard mark and a rushing touchdown for good measure.
And what I found surprising, all those yards he accumulated Only found the end zone one
just
time.
once.
That doesn't even seem fair, does it?
But still, the 200-yard mark, something he can always carry in his back pocket. 2nd and 8 coming up. They run it with Carson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Wilson, escaping the pressure right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
That's a good shot.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Foyesade Aluakin in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take a shot for the end zone, and that is incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Darnold. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Now it's Carson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold, man open, that's Calvin Ridley. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection, maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Jordan Berry now. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they are back to 500 now. The win last week, their 3rd in a row. And the question, is this run coming too late to make a difference in the playoff race?
Great question. They definitely still have some work to do, but I think a lot of folks were writing this team off about 3 weeks ago, even some of their own fans. So I suggest you put some extra shocks on the old bandwagon because this team has rebounded.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, G.
This is Carson. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. He gets nothing on back-to-back runs, so now you're dealing with a 3rd and 10 and probably a passing play.
I would agree with that, and I would highly suggest to the play caller, check a different part of that section on your play sheet because his first 2 runs didn't help you at all. Find someone else who can touch the ball and maybe move it downfield.
We got to step it up. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. Ricky. Mike 54. Mike 54.
On 3rd down, Wilson being chased out left. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. That's right, baby. They don't...
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. Take me up. Take me up. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go.
Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. Go, go, go.
Now a give right side. It's Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is really throwing around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All right. Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there.
Wilson rolling to his left. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
And that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal at the 1. Carson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Check 45 is the mic. Check. Hey, tight. 45. Mike, 45. Me and you all day. I'm coming out.
Carson again. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. A strong run there where when he gets it, especially around the goal line, like a bull in a china shop.
And none of us ever want to confront that bull in any china shop, do we? Any more than we want to confront him. Got behind his pads, ran with power, and got into the end zone.
What an asset around the goal line, a guy like that.
It's almost like a safety blanket, isn't it? When all else fails, hand it to this big back and let him power his way forward.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's been fun to watch run the football. We know he can pass, but using his legs effectively here in this one.
No doubt about it. Watch him maneuver in the pocket, out of the pocket, making the plays.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Richie Grant in on the tackle.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 38, Wilson escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at third and a few inches. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Here's Wilson to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give. This is Michel. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Darnold completes it, and he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A gain of 6 there on first. To throw again on second down, Darnold. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And now the rookie's free. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Meanwhile, Darnold's throw taken in by Ridley here. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, it's Darnold. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
What's he talking about, ref?
So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Hey, 0-0-0. 54. We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. On the return, Williams. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go.
The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
I got you. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 miles.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Wilson eluding the pressure right. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Now Wilson on 1st down. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Here's 2nd and a yard. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Right back to him on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
54 is mark. 54 is mark. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Open space inside the 10. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
A first down throw, Darnold. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Darnold. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. On the option to give to Williams here. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The kick by Bass is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They run the counter. Carson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter.
54 is Mark. 54 is Mark. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Pull out.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson, sliding out of the pocket. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Atlanta regains possession of the football. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. On 1st and 10, Darnold. Under pressure, and down he goes. And now Matthews couldn't really tell what happened there defensively, but he's still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. Second and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Darnold. And this will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. Now Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. 6 man. Check cross, check cross, check cross. One that.
Now it's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Buying time to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. What a crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer, right?
And Darnold, he lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You're talking about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle defense getting set to go. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st down, Darnold. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Darnold. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
To the air again, Darnold. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To throw again on second down. Darnold letting one go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold. Looking for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. He's going to go up top for the end zone.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he did not reel it in.
Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Carson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Steps away. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
Wilson wants to throw it.
And this will go to Carson out wide.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Here's Wilson to throw. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
And oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Darnold on 3rd down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Here we go with Williams. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted. Because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it, and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team at that stage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Darnold now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Flushed out right. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination,